from St. Peter.
This reminder is part of the EC Smoke-Free Campus Initiative. Eckerd College is smoke-free in all...
Ryan Halstead and Nate March here with you from Eckerd. We once again apologize for the technical difficulties we are experiencing here in St. Petersburg tonight for this Sunshine State Conference doubleheader. At the first media timeout, there's 4:55 to go first quarter. 6-5, Tampa leads Eckerd. The Tritons will have Chelsea Johnson at the line when we return. On the previous possession, Chelsea had a beautiful up and under reverse lay-in out on the break, as the Tritons have looked to utilize long outlet passes off of Tampa misses to increase the tempo up and down the floor.
I think it's a great strategy. You know, Coach Hunsinger obviously telling his team to look to get to the wings and try to get down the court. You know, we have big post players who are really force inside, making them get up and down the court. If you can beat them, you get some easy layups like Chelsea Johnson did on the play before. So see if they make adjustments, Tampa does, to try to stop that transition that the Tritons have already started to look for here early in the game.
The 5 on the floor for the Tritons out of the timeout: Lull, Johnson, Denon, White-Eye, and Zoe Richards. First free throw is up and good for Johnson. The foul was on Stasia Titer. 2 fouls on Tampa as a team, 1 on Eckerd. 2 of 2 at the line for Chelsea, 7-6 lead.
The Tritons have done a good job defensively, and you can see come out in a press. Once again, trying to get that game going a lot faster, speed up the tempo. The Tritons have done a good job playing inside and forcing some tough shots, and Tampa's been held scoreless for the last 3 minutes. So, you know, they're playing straight up right now in the post and just trying to bother the inside post presence, especially the talented play by Dory Nodge and Lauren Cody.
Larinaga into the game for Eckerd, 7-6 lead for the Tritons. Chelsea Johnson off the floor after being dinged for a foul in the backcourt there on the press. Dribble drive from the left side, layup is too strong for Malia Sullivan. Rebound for the Tritons, and they are calling it tight in these transition situations here as a foul committed in the backcourt by Nodge that time.
A nice job by Zoe Richards. 2 rebounds she's had off the bench in traffic. And once again, point of emphasis this week in practice was you got to own the glass and limit Tampa's second chance opportunities. So far they are.
Stepping back behind the screen, Lull up with a 3 off the right side of the rim. Tampa controls the glass. 4:05 to go first quarter, 7-6 lead for Eckerd. Again, we apologize as we continue to work through technical difficulties here inside the MacArthur Center. Basketball in the hands of Chris Nelson, moves it along, and Tampa is looking to get it into the post on the right side. Comes back to Nelson, 7 to shoot. She dumps it into the left corner. Kick opposite side, time to line up a 3. Comes off the mark for SU, spins up into the air, and the Tritons have the rebound.
A good look, good defense again. The Tritons really trying to pack it inside, and Spartans are going to have to knock down some outside shots to kind of stretch that defense a little bit more.
Into the post, Denon spins back left and scores with her left hand. She was bodied up by Eshu, but was able to put her in the spin cycle for 2.
Really nice move by Denon. She went towards the baseline, moved the defense, and a nice jump hook over the left. With a nice use of both hands there by Denon.
9-6 lead for the Tritons, and Tampa looks disorganized on offense here. It's a struggle against Eckerd's tight defense. Turnaround in the post, a step, score, and a foul. Nodge with fancy footwork to get to the rim and kiss it up and in.
Great footwork indeed, and Nodge really was able to get Zoe off her feet, and once she left her feet, that opened up the space. Nice head fake, nice ball fake, and Nodge showing a real solid presence. She's got some solid moves. The Tritons have just got to take their chances, stay disciplined, stay on your feet. Don't go for a head fake, and if she scores over you, so what? That's a really nice job, and Zoe kind of bailed her out by leaving her feet there.
Free throw good for Nod. She has 5, and the score is even 9 apiece with 2:52 to go in the first quarter. A handoff on the drive. Denon traveled, just tried to kick it back out to Michaela Keeney into the game for the Tritons.
Nice defense there by Chris Nelson. She beat Denon to the spot, or excuse me, Denon to the spot, and was able to draw that travel. Nice footwork there. Both teams just really skilled defensively on ball and away from the ball, and just watch the rotations. It's a really good clinic for solid man-to-man defense.
The Tritons break out a zone press, and by the time they have to drop back into man-to-man, there's only 10 to shoot for Tampa. Very effective there. Here's Titer. Tries to go to work against Richards. Law comes in and takes the ball away. 1-on-4. Law slows up and then accelerates, but her layup will not go. Comes off the back rim, and Nodge has the rebound for the Spartans.
And with the shot clock, the press really becomes effective. With a team that doesn't score a lot, you're making them have to take more time off the shot clock to get into their offense and limit their positions. That's a nice job by Coach Hunsinger, trying to just throw different looks early on and extend that shot clock and make them shoot late in it.
Zoe Richards able to recover after coming out to help on Titer. Denon with a 3 from straight away to put the Tritons back up 12-9. But on that previous defensive possession, you can see Richards flash out to help, briefly double on Titer, and still recover on the pass inside to Nodge, who missed the shot. Here's Nelson, lefty scoop, no. A rebound knocked out of bounds. Titer coming from behind against Richards. No foul, but it's out of bounds and over to Eckerd with 86 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
And Tampa's been able to utilize that high screen pretty well, and they're running a little bit of a 4-out-1 in motion. But it starts with some high screen, side screen and roll, and they've been able to get to the basket, but they haven't been able to knock down some layups. Another missed layup there. Previous possession won't go down as a fast break point for the Tritons, but once again, most dangerous player, the trailer, and did not knock down a big 3.
Richards, set foot 3-point attempt, comes off. Tampa comes down the floor, trailing 12-9. The Spartans have missed 7 of their last 8 shots. Nodge into the paint, kicks out. Nelson, 3 in the air. High carom off the back rim, and Titer's got an offensive rebound. The freshman Malia Sullivan moves it back out. Nelson resets the offense.
Coach Jesse letting them kind of figure it out by running their play, but team looked at the bench and he just said, run your stuff.
Sullivan steps into a 17-footer, no, front rim. Keeney with the rebound for the Tritons. She'll bring it into the front court herself. 5-second difference, game clock and shot clock. So the Tritons cannot quite hold for the last shot here. Left elbow, handoff by Richards to Law. Law spins in the paint and is called for the travel. Turnover by the Tritons. That's a couple of those where Denon and Law have tried to get inside and have wound up shuffling the feet.
And just good solid footwork. They're beating them to the spot. They're not hanging on their man. They're just really shuffling and staying low, and they're able to beat that spot, force that. And that's good scouting, too. That's a move that Octavia Lowell's used and has used it well this season. And so just a little bit of scouting to understand their tendencies on an individual basis.
Nelson absorbs a bump, goes off glass with the final shot in the quarter, and trims Eckerd's lead to 1 at 12-11 as we wrap up the first quarter. Battle for sole possession of second place in the Sunshine State Conference. We'll step aside briefly on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams, discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Eckerd leads University of Tampa 12-11. 5 points for Yarden Denon. Chelsea Johnson has 4. Army Antoa with 3. The Spartans have been led by Dory Nod. She has 5 points. And 3 points for Nelson, including a pretty layup, efficiently using the final 10 seconds of the quarter as Tampa got it back late on a turnover by Eckerd.
If you, just like we said in the pregame, a defensive battle. Both teams struggling right now to knock down some shots, but there have been some good looks, but also limiting second chance opportunities. Both teams trying to run their offense. And bench play and depth is going to become a factor for both sides.
Richards on the drive with the left hand scores to extend the lead to 3 for the Tritons, who have Keeney, Howard, Johnson, Larinaga, and Richards as their 5 on the floor. Meanwhile, for the visiting Spartans, it's Ingram, Titer, Nelson, Nodge, and Eshu.
And I think Zoe's going to be a key factor in this game. She was huge last year and what a thrilling comeback, and her ability to score at different positions on the court from the outside and inside. That time taking it off the dribble and a great finish on the left side. Of course, she picked up her second foul, so now it's going to be interesting how Coach Hunsinger manages her on the bench now with 2 fouls as we have 9:28 remaining. So Armantla, great opportunity here to try to stretch the defense and also show her senior leadership while Zoe's on the bench with some foul trouble early on.
Eshu comes off and Cody is back in at center as the Spartans go big with Nodge and Cody both in. That was the starting 5 for Tampa as well. Haley Howard is guarding Nelson. Ball comes over to Ingram, a sophomore guard from Clearwater. She enters into the post. Cody is triple teamed on the right block, tied up. The arrow favors Tampa.
And that time you could see that was a call double team. Ball went in, and teams will change their looks in different ways. A lot of times it's the defender who's guarding the ball, the passer who double teams. I've seen teams on the opposite go big on big double. Nice job by the Tritons, but good job by the Spartans with an effective out of bounds underneath play.
Nodge knocks it down from 12 feet right of the lane. 9 minutes to go in the half. Tritons lead trimmed to 14-13. Haley Howard running point for Eckerd. Gets a handoff from Antela. Comes back out behind the arc. Being chased by Nelson. Picks up the dribble. Antela overhead pass out to Keeney. 3 in the air. 3 in the net from the right side.
And that's a great sign for Keeney coming off the bench. She's another factor who's able to do a little bit of everything here. Rebound, knock down some outside shots. That time she let it fly as soon as she caught it. Nice pass by Antela.
17-13, Eckerd in front. Nelson gives it up. Nodge tries a high arcing 3 off the right side of the rim, and Larinaga will shepherd it out of bounds and over to Eckerd.
And coach not happy.
Apologize for some technical difficulties with the audio this time. On the drive, Larinaga off the mark on the layup attempt. Cody the rebound for Tampa. The Tritons lead 17-13, coming up on 8 minutes to go in the half. Ryan Halstead, Nate March here with you on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Ingram up fake, thought about the 3. Winds up handing it off. Eshu is back into the game. We've seen these weave handoffs as a prominent part of Tampa's offense over the years. Chris Nelson on the drive into a crowd. This time cannot get the bank to fall. Haley Howard is off and running.
Really nice job by Keeney there, boxing out, and such a good box out. The ball actually hit the floor, and she was able to corral it.
Keeney from straight on, fouled and connects.
It's a
And Coach Jesse immediately off the bench there, upset, thinking that Keeney basically pushed off, and you certainly saw number 23 Eshu go to the ground, and then all of a sudden as she's trying to make up, she runs into Keeney and a huge shot there and a 4-point opportunity, 4-point swing. This type of lead in this type of game is a little bit more than just with 7 points. This is kind of like a double-digit lead with just how well both teams play defensively.
Keeney with 6 points and a free throw coming. That rims out, controlled by Titer on the left. And the Spartans come down trailing 20-13. Tampa in the forecourt at the right end, and they're visiting Reds. Titer picks up her dribble, gives it back to Nelson. Howard's on her. Keeney fronts Titer down on the right block. Titer pops out the far side, receives a pass, dribbles to the short corner, pull-up jumper, challenged the whole way. She does manage to fight back in and secure her own miss and give a fresh possession to the Spartans.
Nice job following her shot. Good defense there, and got to finish the defensive play by rebounding the basketball. And Triton's really doing a good job handling the dribble screen. The dribble handoff, I should call it. It's like a screen. But they've done a real good job, and it's a different look. They didn't really do that as much in the first half. Tampa, a little bit of adjust in their motion offense of how they want the ball to get and make the defense move.
The Tritons led 12-11 after the first quarter, 6:46 to go until halftime. Nelson tosses into SU on the right wing. Tighter with Larinaga on her. SU right wing, Johnson guards her. Ingram holds the ball above her head, back to SU, looks to drive, gets to the right elbow, steps into contact, and draws a foul. And this may be the second on Chelsea Johnson. It is.
Chelsea Johnson, her second.
A good solid take by SU and a little too much body, but you look at the post play. The Tritons are really doing a good job. Three-quarter front, Antila's really making herself known, and that entry pass in the post has been very difficult. So a lot of what the Spartans are doing is just remaining on the perimeter, and a team that doesn't shoot well from three-point line or shoot a lot from three-point range, they really want to get the ball inside. The Tritons have not allowed that to happen, and quick double teams or just by doing a good job front in the post. That's been a nice matchup to see here, the game within a game.
SU's first free throw good, the second is as well, cuts the lead to 5. Nodge back in, Cody out.
So as the game goes on, it'd be interesting to see if there's some wrinkles Jesse calls, to maybe set a block-on-block screen, try to free up that post entry by just screening your post to free them up. But the Tritons right now have done a real nice job just making it difficult.
Offensive foul on Michaela Keeney, and the number of Tritons with 2 fouls starting to pile up. Johnson, Richards, and Keeney. That's also 4 team fouls in this quarter, with 6:21 still remaining before halftime.
Coach Hunter here just put his head down. This is an obvious call. Nice job by SU. Really just getting there.
And if this is on Keeney, it is. It's her third. And so before White Eye could get into the game to replace her, Keeney is going to have to go to the bench with 3. And also Nodge goes to the line to shoot 2.
A lot of, we said it first quarter, you could see that the game was being tightly called, and now some foul trouble starting to emerge. Some key players that come off the bench for the Tritons. The Spartans have an opportunity now to really take advantage of some matchups. And some of the starters are going to have to really play disciplined defense, but also make sure they maintain their stamina by some minutes here.
Dodge with 9 points after hitting both free throws, trimming Eckerd's lead to 20-17. Antelo looks for a cutting White Eye, but the pass isn't there, so gives it up Howard. Dribble drive, Haley Howard off the front rim, no. Skies to secure it, takes off herself. Into the post, Nodge, and ball batted in the air. Tucker once again tracks it down. She is all over the place for Tampa right now, despite being unable to find her shot. Chris Nelson floats it in for Nodge on the right block against Antela, up and under, no, but a foul.
And just a solid move. Nodge caught it, ripped it through, and that was one of those little wrinkles before. Post player just kind of standing on the block ball side. That time she flashed opposite, beat Antela to the spot, and immediately catch rip through, and a nice inside pivot. Nice piece of post play there by Nodge. Now she's going to the line, and all of a sudden it's a 1-point game, and the Tritons have been held scoreless for a few possessions now.
Dory Nodge with 9 points so far for the Spartans. At the free throw line, UT is 6 of 7. Rebounding battle being won by Tampa to this point as well. Stacia Titer already has 7 boards, including 3 on the offensive glass.
And she's been held pretty quiet, hadn't taken a lot of shots, but doing it elsewhere, a couple extra possessions because she's hit the offensive glass hard.
5 straight points at the free throw line for Tampa. UT has gone the last 3:33 without a field goal, but have clawed their way back within a point with 5:39 to go in the half. 20-19, Eckerd leading. Denon and Lal back into the game with Larinaga, White Eye, and Antela. Here's Lal down under the basket, got stuck in the air, but able to bounce a pass Out to Denon.
Just a nice piece of closing out there by Tyder. She really stayed low and took that drive away. Denon's very good at doing that.
The inside-out play, and Law banks it home as she was fed from out top by Angela. Inverting the point and center there to extend the lead to 3.
And it starts with a ball fake. Got Nelson off her feet. Nice finish by Law inside.
SU fades left on the three-point try. Off. Quick hit ahead. Larinaga on the right wing. Denon, now White-Eye left wing. The freshman Sullivan spreads her arms wide to guard her. In the paint, Angela one dribble with the left hand off the window and good.
That's not an easy shot. She finishes it with the left. She has a little more space. She shot it with her right, but a nice job getting over the top of Naj, and tough pass too. That ball was high. That's a tough pass to catch for the post, but some bonus points there. Nice play by Antela. And Tritons have back-to-back really solid possessions getting the ball inside, kind of giving Tampa its own medicine.
24-19, Eckerd leads, and White-Eye on the floor to grab the lead ball after lost it in traffic. Denon steps through a double, too strong on her scoop, rims off, and the rebound controlled by Naj.
Those crucial misses inside. Both teams have missed some layups. You just start seeing these types of games how each of those possessions are so crucial.
More than 5 minutes without a basket for the Spartans. SU gives it up to Sullivan. Sullivan down under the basket. Tyder with the left hand up and under, no, but Tyder draws a foul and will look for her first points of the game at the free throw line. This brings us to the media timeout with 3:49 to go in the half. 5-point lead for Eckerd, but free throws coming for Tampa when we return on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. .49 to go until halftime between the Tritons and the Spartans. Battle of the Bay Area, 24-19 in Eckerd's favor after field goals on the last couple trips down the floor. But Tyder with a pair of free throws coming from Tampa as the leading scorer on the season for the Spartans looks to register her first points of the game and does on the first free throw.
On that last possession, a nice job by Tyder using the high post by Naj, high screen to free her up, and great job getting her beat. Twice the Tritons have gotten beat on the baseline in recent possessions. And they haven't gotten beat from field goals, but the Spartans are really getting to the line and keep themselves in this game.
Tampa now 10 of 11 at the line after Tyder makes both. 24-21, Eckerd in front. Law gets down onto the baseline, out. Denon with her feet set, bangs home a triple.
And a nice adjustment by Denon. She dropped a little bit, about 2 feet, to open up that passing lane, catch and shoot. And the Spartans, not bad defense, they're in the right place, but just a little adjustment there frees up Denon with a crucial 3.
Tritons are 4 of 7 from distance. Tyder, a turnaround with the left hand. Back rim, no. White-Eye comes back. Larinaga, she gets to the baseline, kicks left corner, out quickly. Denon, left wing. This time the defense is right tight to her. Left of the lane, Antela. White-Eye out with a handoff. Larinaga around a screen by Antela. And the pass to Law tip, but it gets to Octavia. Then she turns it over, passing it to the paint. On forward the other way. Doesn't have help, so picks up her dribble and resets the offense.
Nice job by the Spartans collapsing in the lane. Octavia got off her feet and kind of put her in a bad spot, and a good job on the team defense there.
Nelson has space, thought about the three, then dribbles, nods with tremendous position, can't finish. Will head to the free throw line after the foul.
And that drive starts by getting beat off the dribble, and it opens up the help side to drop that pass inside. And now, that's only Danon's first, but with some foul trouble for the Tritons. Yeah, this is kind we'll try to get through the next 2:20 without trying to pick up any more fouls and giving the Spartans any more free shots.
1 of 2 at the line. Danon the rebound on the second attempt by Nodge. That's just the second miss for Tampa at the charity stripe. 27-22, Eckerd leads. Lal out top, pounds the basketball 3 times for handing off Larinaga. Lal gets an angle from the left side, had to twist to avoid Nodge coming to help. Missed the shot. Tampa quickly back the other way.
And that's what the Spartan defense is built for, is drive, let them drive and be there to corral them. And tighter, huge swing we're seeing now, 2-point game, and a big shot there by the Spartans to put this in one possession.
Tighter, a line drive 3 from the left wing to cut the Eckerd lead to 2. White-Eye on the drive, all the way to the rim, scoring on the right side. The lead is 4 for Eckerd with 90 seconds to go in the half.
A nice job on the flare screen. She caught it. It's either a three-pointer or a drive to the basket. And White-Eye with a great finish, one of the best of the night so far.
Sullivan skies to the rim, finishing with the right hand. 29-27.
Some really good defense here, and then the last couple possessions, couple breakdowns, things a little easier than what it's been all game.
Offensive foul, moving screen called against the Tritons. That's on White-Eye. Now she has 2. Seemingly every Triton with multiple fouls. Michaela Keeney is saddled with 3, and the Spartans can tie or take the lead on this possession.
That's some good scouting there, knowing where the cuts are going and beating the Tritons to the spot.
White-Eye goes down, and Sullivan scores over the front lip of the rim. 29 all. Lal walks to the head, under 50 seconds to play in the half. Antela sets a high screen. Lal looking to knife her way to the basket. Turnaround jumper, off the rim, no, and Nodge has the rebound for Tampa. Take the lead. Still not quite far enough along to take the final shot of the half. There's a 6-second difference. Eshu with White-Eye out on her. Hands off, Sullivan. The freshman has played very strong this half. Nelson at the right elbow, gives it up to Tighter with 8 to shoot. Running the weave, Sullivan gets an angle on Larinaga, turnaround jumper, foul, and the jumper goes. Sullivan on a run here. She has scored a quick half dozen points and is heading to the free throw line. And the officials are conferencing.
I think they called a technical foul, and they're conferencing, but I believe they called a technical foul. And it looks like it might have been on Octavia Lowell. So that's a huge, could be a huge swing as they, it looks like Haley's coming into the off the floor. So, you see and 1, that's a huge run there.
Technical was assessed on Octavia Lowell.
Octavia Lowell, her first.
That's a personal foul and a foul for the bonus. So that's extra free throws. And so all of a sudden now you just kind of, dug a little deeper hole after Sullivan with 3 straight possessions of just attacking the basket. And you gotta keep your cool. You gotta keep your wit, especially in these types of games. That's a huge swing.
Eshu makes the first technical free throw. She will shoot 1 more, and then Sullivan will shoot hers.
And with Tampa looking to have the possession to start the second half. Now this is a chance at 5-point lead. And all of a sudden, a 12-2 run to end the half by the Spartans.
That's still 1 free throw coming, 9.5 seconds to go in the half. No one in the lane for Tampa. Free throw, no. Sullivan almost gets her own miss against 4 Triton. Haley out to the front court. She's unguarded briefly, goes toward the rim, gets swatted from behind by Cody with 1 second remaining.
I would have liked to see Haley kind of pull up. She had great space and she can knock down that three. You know, the Spartans are built to let them drive in the lane and use their length to try to deflect or contest shots. See what coach draws up here.
Howard out of bounds, looking for a shooter. In Denon, misses everything at short range, trying to rush the shot up. And Tampa leads 33-29, finishing the half with an 8-0 run over the span of 78 seconds. The Tritons, who led for most of that first half, give up that big run and trail by 4 into the locker room.
A good job by Coach Hunsinger drawing up a play, and that mental clock sometimes a little faster than what the real clock is, and had a chance there to cut it back down to 2, but Spartans with a solid run, and gotta give credit to the freshman Sullivan. She kind of just found a matchup she liked and exploited it in 3 straight possessions, and should be a real interesting second half, see what both teams do adjusting, as pretty even except for that last 2 minutes of the game.
Dory Nodge finished the half with 12 points. Sullivan had 6, SU 7, and Titer 5 for Tampa. For Eckerd, Denon has 8, Antela 5, Keeney 6, but also 3 fouls. Chelsea Johnson with 4, and Law with 2. White-Eye also with 2. We'll step aside for halftime here inside the MacArthur Center. Tampa leads Eckerd 33-29 on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
So Audrey, such a nice day. So warm today.
So beautiful.
So how are your classes going?
Good. Are you ready for the test?
Aiming for C plus, but I think I got it.
I can't believe close to that.
Yeah.
Picking 7.
7. Wow.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
So Audrey, such a nice day. So warm today.
So beautiful.
So how are your classes going?
Good. Are you ready for the test?
Aiming for C plus, but I think I got it.
I can't believe close to that.
Yeah.
Picking 7.
7. Wow.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams, discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
So, Audrey,
Kayla.
such a nice day. So warm today.
It's so beautiful.
So how are your classes going?
Good. Are you ready for the test?
Aiming for C plus, but I think I'll get it.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Picking 7.
7 is wow.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams, discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
So, Audrey,
Kayla.
such a nice day. So warm today.
It's so beautiful.
So how are your classes going?
Good. Are you ready for the test?
Aiming for C plus, but I think I'll get it.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Picking 7.
7 is wow.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
So, Audrey,
Kayla.
such a nice day, huh? So warm today.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
So how are your classes going?
Good. Are you ready for the test?
Aiming for C++, but I think I'll get it.
I can't believe it's
Yeah, yeah.
picking 7.
7 is wow.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
That's a half here at the MacArthur Center. Eckerd trails 33-29 against the University of Tampa Spartans. Ryan Halstead and Nate March here with you on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We do apologize for the bevy of technical difficulties we have battled tonight. Thank you so much for hanging with us. Eckerd led by 1 after 1 quarter, led by as many as 7 during the second quarter, but surrendered a 12-2 run and an 8-0 run over the final minute 18 seconds, in fact. That was keyed mostly by 6 points by freshman guard Malia Sullivan. She's a guard, but at 5'11", the Bartow native has tremendous size and athleticism and showed it off, getting to the rim nearly at will in the closing minutes there of that first half. And so the Tritons, who were very stout but fouled a lot in that first half, are going to need to clean up the fouls, but also refine that stick-to-itiveness they had in terms of just staying attached to defenders and knowing when they can help and when they can't when allowing those lanes to the rim.
Yeah, the Tritons really just got kind of beat there in some matchups, and Sullivan kind of threw some, Spartans are doing a nice job of setting some high screens and getting some shuffle cuts to create that mismatch that they're asking for. And Triton's on the offensive side had some really good looks, couldn't finish some easy shots around the basket, but also they're being played to go and attack the basket, and that's what the Spartans are built for. So I'd like to see kind of instead of taking just maybe a pop, or a pivot or jump stop and try to fall, short about 8 feet and try to knock those floaters instead of getting all the way to the basket where then they're contested. But Tritons did shoot the ball well from outside, some nice adjustments. I think foul trouble, like you said, was a huge and really kind of changed the rotations of what Coach Hunsinger normally would want.
It's the starting 5 back out there for Eckerd to begin this second half. Lal, Antela, White-Eye, Johnson, and Denon. Tritons were 4 of 7 from three-point range in that first half. Didn't get a ton of good looks from that range. Tampa defended the perimeter well. Chelsea Johnson steps through and slashes in with the left hand to cut the Tampa lead to 2 right away out of the gate.
Great move, and she avoided Nelson, who fell to the ground, and still finished with her left. And 6 quiet points here for Chelsea Johnson. So see if she can get going here in the second half. She had a great fourth quarter on Saturday night.
Sullivan begins the second half on the floor, and this time the Tritons swarm her. She dribbles off her own toe over the baseline out of bounds. Tritons force a quick turnover. Tampa's 5 on the floor to begin the second half. Titer, Nelson, Naj, Eshu, and Sullivan getting the start in the second half. Sullivan in the place of Cody. We've had some issues with some wet spots down at that right end of the floor. It's addressed, and the Tritons will head that way in their home whites, looking to tie or take the lead early in the third quarter.
So a little chin action here, so you see the high shuffle cut that she used the flare this time. Frees up Chelsea.
Chelsea Johnson short on the right wing 3. Tampa controls the rebound. Chris Nelson decided to pull back away from Titer. Now enters toward the post. Double team comes, but Titer maintains possession.
A good matchup there for Chelsea to kind of use her speed. Good backside help, floated into the lane to try to prevent that.
Nelson open from 18 feet, no, but Naj takes the rebound away from Antela and gives Tampa another possession with 8:40 to go in the third quarter.
And a fairly good job by the Tritons to rebound, but that one nice back tip by Naj, and she's played a nice game too, controlling some shots around the backboard.
Sullivan once again gets off her feet and glides to the rim. She's got 8, and the lead is 4 for Tampa, 35-31. Lowell tried to step in there and take the charge, and Sullivan just elevated away from her. Chelsea Johnson overhead pass into Antela, give and go. Johnson off the glass and good.
Nice job, nice cut off the post entry, nice little two-man game. And I like how she finished over the top of Titer. Titer really only had a choice of jumping into the net to try to contest that shot.
Sullivan, line drive 3 from the left wing. She's in double figures with 11.
And those are things
35 Tampa.
You kind of see, like, how much attention did, they know that she was capable, but really surprising that the 11 points that she's had. And they've been solid here the last, especially having a quiet first quarter.
Denon steps back from the right elbow. Her 3 was blocked by Naj, actually a long 2. Antela was able to secure it, but then she misses at close range, and Titer brings it down the floor for Tampa. Crosses over against Denon, quickly out. Eshu on the drive, uses her left arm to create separation and scores with the right hand off the glass.
That's not bad defense. This is better offense. And Eshu, she's shown some scoring punch too.
7 points, matches the largest lead for either side. White-Eye with a great cut to get open, draws the foul on Malia Sullivan, as that was the only option Sullivan had to prevent a layup by White-Eye.
Nice chin cut, and that chin cut we call ball goes across the top, and it's a nice shuffle cut off the high screen, usually around the elbow just to step off of that. And that time Abby really did a nice job reading it. And that ball's got to be whipped to the other side quickly if you're going to open up that pass that Abby Wilder just got. Nice piece of offense there and a little adjustment. Coach Hunsinger going to the chin series a little bit more here early on.
White-Eye 2 of 2 at the free throw line, 40-35, Tampa in front. Eckerd picks up full court.
They did this a couple times in the first half and was able to extend the possession and force some tough shots. In order to do this, they got to score and be able to get set into it.
Eshu lobs a pass cross court to Nelson. Nodge on the baseline, faked the shot, but moves it back out. Nelson guarded by Law. Into Nodge, double team comes, cross court, right corner, on the drive, Sullivan gives it up, tighter, to the rim, and able to kiss it home.
Nice drive and kick, and then a slow closeout, and that makes Tighter. She's too good of a player to give that type of layup to. Nice two-man game again for the Spartans, getting some matchups that they want.
7-point lead for Tampa. Denon at the free throw line gives it up. Midway through the shot clock, Larinaga, as she was driving, Antela got fouled away from the ball after setting a screen.
First second. Number 2 on the team.
That's 2 on Sullivan. And 2 in this quarter against Tampa as Zoe Richards checks in for Antela. Law takes it out, baseline right, and immediately tosses in to Chelsea Johnson. Out top between the circles, Law. Richards, left elbow, looks inside, Law left alone and hits the three.
It's just a beautifully executed play out of their half court. That's a part of their 41 to Princeton offense, and both defenders went with the backdoor cut on Denon and an easy pop and knockdown shot by Lowell. Good piece of offense there by the Trions running their Princeton set.
Nodge swarmed down low. Eshu gets Chelsea Johnson up in the air. Pass tipped, stolen away. Law tipped it, Larinaga stole it. It's Law in the left corner, dribbles out of it. Finds Chelsea Johnson with her feet set, 3 on the way, 3 in the net.
That's a great pass. She hit it right in the pocket, and Chelsea had her feet set, like you said. That's an easy knockdown shot for one of the best scorers in the conference. And 2 back-to-back threes, and now the Trions have something cooking going.
Down to a 1-point lead for Tampa, 42-41. Chelsea Johnson in double figures. She has 11. Nodge doubled out. Sullivan and tries again from the left side. Not this time. Zoe Richards with the box out to get rid of Nodge. Quick hit ahead, Larinaga. Law throwing it ahead quickly. We saw some of this early for the Tritons to try and push the offense. And reads Larinaga back to Law. Now Denon left side. Looks inside for a cutting Richards. It's not there. Law lobs it over the top for Richards. And a foul called on Zoe as the pass was intercepted by Nodge.
That's a tough call against Zoe Richards. The pass was already beat, and the steal was going to happen. You always look, is there an advantage game? They called her with a hand in the back. That's a tough call because that puts her now with 3 fouls. A little adjustment on the defensive side for the Trions. They went to a zone there, and you see if they're going to stick with it. If they do, they got to rebound. But they're, challenge a Spartans team that doesn't knock down a whole lot of threes, and all of a sudden this little wrinkle in the defense, it's a 1-point game. See if they can feel comfortable trying to run some zone offense. But the Trions are going to have to box out. Zone tends to be a little bit harder. You don't have your block-out assignments like you do in a man. So see if Coach Hunsinger sticks with it, or was that just a quick wrinkle?
4:54 to go in the third quarter, 42-41. Tampa will step aside for the media timeout on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
So, Audrey,
Kayla.
such a nice day, huh? So warm today.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
So how are your classes going?
Good. Are you ready for the test?
Aiming for C+, but I think I'll get it.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Picking 7.
.241 with 4:54 to go in the third quarter.
Important.
What does bode well, Ryan, for the Tritons, mentioned Tampa, when they win, they usually hold their opponent under 50. Tritons are going to break that. They've gotten the game into a tempo that they prefer.
A little bit of a zone still, an issue with a shot, but once again, that one was more of a 3-2, a high extended 3-2, and another forced perimeter shot, and a good job by rebounding the basketball. Zoe Richards still playing with 3 fouls, so some important minutes here, and this is where that awareness and that mental advantage comes in if you're playing with 3 fouls.
Zoe lost her footing, has to throw it out. Octavia Law, her pass is stripped away. Tritons foul Sullivan, and she was about to take off down the floor. Octavia Law picks up her second personal. Her first was a technical in the waning seconds of the first half.
And a good rotation, once again, Spartans defense, just a really solid rotational, and you could see it looked like that Lowell had an opportunity to get into the paint for collapse and tied her up. She did have some shooter spot up, but she got to be able to execute that offense.
Neither side called timeout here. The officials inadvertently crediting started to credit an extra media timeout there without realizing they'd just come out of one. Neither coach called for it. Both take advantage and get their teams into the huddle quickly as Tampa has the basketball after that foul.
Just go with it, and you get a couple extra coaching points in, and we'll see if Coach Jesse has something for the zone.
SU, long three-point try from the right wing, connects to extend the lead to 4.
A little bit of a different spot. That last possession, SU was all the way in the corner. That time they pop her out, and she's one of the best three-point shooters on the team, so nice job extending that zone and knocking down that outside shot.
Zoe Richards looks to drive. There's a foul. Lowell was trying to cut and got undercut, and the foul goes against Nodge. That's her second, and 3 called against Tampa in this quarter. 3:48 to go in the third frame.
So examples of getting position, whether you're setting the screen or whether you're trying to defend the screen. As long as you have position, you're entitled to that spot. And Nodge that time went right through. But a tough shot, air ball by Zoe. Rare shot. I mean, she's capable of knocking down some long-distance shots, and I think Coach Hunsley would be happy with that type of shot selection.
Rushed that one for some reason. Usually you'll see her step back, get her footing behind the line. Instead, rushed up along 2 on the air ball there. Ingram has it for Tampa on the right wing. 3.5 minutes to go. 4-point lead for the Spartans, 45-41. Ingram looks at the rim, thought about a 3. Nelson dumps it into the corner. Comes back to Nelson on the drive. In the air, Ingram left corner. Stuck. Nelson, quick trigger 3. It rims in and out, but Nodge is there for an offensive rebound for Tampa.
That's the tough part. If you're playing the zone, you've got to rebound. The Spartans are attacking a little bit of an odd front, 1-3-1, and doing some rotation. And giving up some threes. Trions have got to rebound.
Tighter with a 3 in the left corner. Pushes the lead back to 7, matching the highest for either side in the game at 48-41. Richards looking for the back cut from Larinaga. It's not there. Emmeritz has it now out top. Above the right elbow. Zoe Richards off the mark, missing to the left, but a foul on Tampa on the rebounding action will keep it with Eckerd at the offensive end.
So a little displacement there, and SU got the box out but kept driving the player. And you've seen more of those calls on boxing out here in recent years. You got entitled to make contact, but you can't drive when you're trying to position yourself in that box out. So trying to get an extra possession, and Tritons could get in the bonus here, and 236 gives some opportunities to maybe get some free shots.
Lowell anticipated having Chelsea Johnson on the right wing. Chelsea wasn't there, but was able to track the pass down. Out top, White-Eye with it. Zoe gives it up to Chelsea Johnson around Richard's screen, pulls up with it, give and go. Foul on Nodge, that's her third, and free throws coming on the pick and roll.
That's one of those where the defense is actually pretty good and the pass was a little late. But because of where the pass was made, Nodge had to go through Zoe, and Zoe now has a chance to, get some free throws, but also Spartans are in the penalty now. So the Tritons can take advantage of this with 2:19 left.
First free throw good for Zoe Richards. Sole possession of second place in the Sunshine State Conference on the line in this game. Tampa leads 48-42.
You just see two really well-coached teams that know each other's style. For a while in the summers, Coach Hunsinger, Coach Jesse would meet together and just talk basketball, something they've done, have kind of a coach's clinic, and right across the bay, and you can just see how well they know each other's tendencies.
Tampa barely able to beat the press that time. Ingram coming back to help.
It's 9.5 seconds. They almost were able to get that 10-second call.
And remember when the women's game didn't feature that call as a recent addition. Sullivan against Law, cups the ball, cannot score, going to the left. Octavia has the ball in the final 2 minutes of the third quarter, pushes it up ahead. White-Eye guarded by Titer, hands off Larinaga around the screen from Zoe Richards. Into the post now. Richards left to the lane, goes to work against Cody. Off the window, scoring with the left hand. And it's a one-possession game once again.
Solid move. She went back towards the middle and then went back to her left hand. And she finishes so well with both hands around the post. But try and switch their defense out back to a man. And now they able to force Tyler into a missed layup. So try and changing their defense and seeing if they can try to get the Spartans out of rhythm.
Eshu, long pass diagonally cross court. Cody almost got stripped in the paint. Only 2 to shoot here. Tyler didn't see the clock, gets it off and hits the jumper. A tough shot for Tyler. She's got a dozen.
Great defense, better offense, and gotta give her, had some great awareness to get that shot off before the shot clock. Tyler just with could be one of the plays of the game.
Cody fouls Zoe Richards, who knew right away when she caught the ball that she had caught Cody retreating and just took the ball right into her to draw the contact.
And last year at this home game, this is when we start seeing Zoe start getting things going. And she did a little bit more from the outside, but it's an opportunity for 7 straight points for Zoe Richards.
After that free throw make, Richards has 7, 50-46. Bit of a offense for defense. It seems sort of switch here. Sullivan came off after committing a foul earlier. Comes back on after a very short break. Second free throw, good as well for Richards. 50-47, full court pressure by the Tritons. Eshu, trap coming for her. She does get trapped and low with the steal. Gets the handle and unable to score through contact, but White Eye gets it back. Chelsea Johnson on the baseline, no. White Eye again with an offensive board. Chelsea drives from the three-point line, hands out, White Eye, 3, no. But Wall has the rebound, drawing a foul. The Tritons just sent waves at the rim on this possession. It will finally result in free throws for Eckerd. And a third foul as well on Lauren Cody.
And that's a strong possession by the Tritons to be able to just, Keela couldn't get something to go. You're trying to tie the game. But they're able to attack that basket and get some offensive rebounds.
First free throw off the mark for Richards. Started with a steal by Octavia Lowell after the trap on Eshu, right in front of us. Missed them both though. Sullivan cups the rebound, wrapping it against her forearm, and Tampa can take the final shot of the third quarter, leading 50-47. Nelson holds out top, gives it up, Tighter, step back jumper, off the mark, rebounded by Wall, chance for a heave here, 1 second, and she did get it off, but it's wide to the right. And after 3 quarters, Tampa leads 50-47 as we step aside on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
So Audrey,
Kayla.
such a nice day, huh? So warm today.
So beautiful.
So how are your classes going?
Good. Are you ready for the test?
Aiming for C+, but I think I got it.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Picking 7.
7 is wow.
This is the University of Tampa.
Oh. 50-47 lead for Tampa over Eckerd. Fourth quarter ahead of us on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Ryan Halstad, Nate March. It is Tampa basketball to begin the fourth quarter. Eckerd begins with Law, Larinaga, White-Eye, Johnson, and Richards on the floor.
Couple players with 3 fouls. Keeney, Richards for the Tritons. Naj and Cody for the Spartans. So we expected a close one tonight, and we're certainly getting that.
The Spartans have 4 in double figures. One of them is the freshman handling the basketball right now, Malia Sullivan. Gives it up, Tighter. Moves it along, Nelson. Tampa bleeding the clock on the opening possession of the fourth quarter. Nelson won't take that late shot. Gives it up, Tighter. Gets the shooter's roll on a 14-footer.
A little frustrating there that we lost sight. I mean, Chelsea kind of was matched up, forced that last second shot, and then kind of got caught watching the ball. And an easy shot for Tighter.
Inside, Richards scores to the left hand, caught Nodge retreating. Nodge with 3 fouls. Didn't want to lean back in for contact there. Here comes the pressure by Eckerd, down 3. Nodge hits Sullivan, cutting. Richards decides not to go in, concedes the layup instead. A 5-point lead for Tampa.
Nice job by the Spartans getting the ball in the middle, attacking up the sideline.
And an offensive foul called on Eckerd. It's on Zoe. It's actually on Abby White-Eye, so it's her 3rd, but not the 4th on Richards.
So we've seen that consistently called, some pushing off. And they missed one earlier, they said, or at least what Coach Jesse said, but I didn't see the contact, and you just want to know how much was it. But give Tiger credit. She sold it because she definitely went to that ground hard, and a big play there, a forced turnover. The Tritons have got to get a stop. They don't want to let this get up over 3 possessions.
Tighter winds up kicking the ball away from herself and falls out of bounds. She seems surprised when the press backed off and took her eye off the basketball. An unforced error. Keeney is back in the game for Eckerd. She has hit a pair of 3-pointers, but sat out the entire 3rd quarter with 3 fouls.
It's an odd sequence there. I think Sullivan said, I'd like to have that back. But good break for the Tritons, and they've got to capitalize now.
Richards on the drive, once again gets to the rim against Notch.
She has found something there, her speed and length. Really, I mean, Notch has done a great job inside the presence all night, but Zoe's really done a nice job here last, finding something working.
54-51, a moving screen as the dribble handoff sometimes produces that. The handoff was made by Nelson and then ran into the defender.
And that's the importance of it. It's a natural screen, but you can't turn as you're making that handoff. And Nelson that time kind of turned into her and made contact.
Both teams are 16 of 39 from the field. Eckerd has one more 3-point make. Tampa, a handful more free throws. 54-51, the visiting Spartans in front. Richards once again takes off on the dribble, Euro steps and misses the lay-in, got the space, floated it up onto the rim that time instead of being able to extend to the glass. She was just 1/2 step further out than she had been those previous takes. Sullivan tosses in Tighter against Keeney. Nelson, baseline J, no, and the rebound grabbed by Keeney. She's fouled from behind by Tighter.
You just kind of feel that pressure coming in with each possession. Each team really looking like they're on the edge of their seat, and that was a good look by Nelson. A good find, but the Tritons wrapped up the rebound. The Tritons holding them 1 and out.
Wall's entry for a cutting Johnson, tipped up into the air off the bottom of the backboard, and Tighter steals it away. Tampa hanging on to a 3-point lead, 54-51.
And that's just a tough pass, thrown it in the air. You got to try to get that as a bounce pass, and here comes Zoe with a kind of a cheap one inside. And once again, you kind of ask, is there an advantage there? Was there an advantage on that contact? There was certainly contact made, but there certainly has been contact all night. And that time didn't seem like that impeded Notch from getting there.
Eckerd calls timeout as Richards goes to the bench with 4 fouls. 7:20 to go in the game. Both teams have their full assortment of timeouts. We'll step aside with Eckerd trailing by 3 on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. 7:20 to go in the game. We do have the Eckerd versus Tampa men's contest coming up after this one here at the MacArthur Center. Tampa takes it out of bounds, baseline left at the offensive end of the floor. Chris Nelson inbounding, throws it to Nodge behind the arc, left side. Keeney out top, Sullivan handles the basketball. Nelson comes back to get it. Nelson has been shy with her shot for much of this game. Her pass up to Eshu, nearly tipped by Larinaga. 10 to shoot, under 7 minutes to go. Nelson on the right side, dribbles away from a crowd, bounces inside. Nodge, Antilla commits the foul. Nodge missed the shot, but heads to the free throw line, where she is 6 of 7 on the game.
A nice pass inside. Nelson, the defense collapsed and went with Nodge, but she found a little window and was able to drop it off in a nice ball fake.
Doreen Knox to shoot 2.
Tampa backs everyone out of the lane. And Nodge bricks the first free throw.
Nodge is 72% free throw shooter, and start wondering each of these possessions really making a difference and count.
54-51, Tampa leads. Second free throw good, making it a 2-possession game. Law, Larinaga, Keeney, Johnson, and Antilla on the floor for Coach Honsinger. Chelsea Johnson, up fake, a pretty one. Her pass to Antilla, bobbled briefly. Law pulls her toe back and splashes a 3.
Nice job by Antilla to catch that and find Lowell, and Lowell was able to gather herself. The defense went to the top. The big shot there. And Tritons will not go away.
Sullivan, tough two from right of the lane. Ball wound up getting knocked away before the inbounds. 3-point lead for Tampa, 57-54. Sullivan leads all scorers with 15 points. It has been a coming out party for the freshman. Keeney thought about the 3, the space closed by Sullivan. Wall looks to get the ball back from Antilla. Now Keeney, once again, that space not there. She got a couple clean looks early. Ball slipped through Wall's finger. She gets it back with 5 to shoot. Around a screen from Antilla, blocking foul. Before the shot, it is on the floor. Well, it might not be on the floor, but it was certainly before the shot. Does not count.
And a bang-bang play.
And it is going to be called on the floor. Eckerd, one official has it on the floor. The far side official was signaling for shooting. It looks like they're going to have Eckerd take it out of bounds here.
So
it's the 4th foul on Nodge as well.
And that's a big play because she's now got to go to the bench for at least two minutes. Coach S will probably keep her into under 4. That's a big play. And she's done a really good job just being present and also finishing around the basket. She's put together a really solid game, 9 rebounds, 12 points. You can just see you're averaging a double-double. You're doing some good things, and she's now on the bench. That's defensive presence and some opportunity to clean up any missed shots, or also being able to free up some of her teammates on some pick and rolls.
Denon back in for Keeney. So Richards and Nodge on the bench for their respective teams with 4 fouls each. Inbound comes to Chelsea Johnson. A 3 would tie the game. Wall dribbles away from the screen. Fakes a pass right, takes off on the dribble, swings it back out. Denon enters to Antilla in the post against Cody with the left hand. No, didn't hit iron. Tampa with the basketball back the other way, leading by 3.
And they got the ball where they wanted. They couldn't get that dribble handoff or that backdoor cut off the post entry. It looked like Cody kind of pulled the chair there, and Antilla was looking for contact, didn't have it, and kind of sailed that shot.
Sullivan against Denon. Back to the right with a fadeaway and a soft roll. Sullivan has been tremendous in this game. She has 17, and Tampa's lead is 5 as we reach the midway point of the 4th quarter. Denon looking for a cutter, holds the ball above her head, no one's there, so she dribbles into the middle of the floor. There's the back cut, Denon is there, missed off the side of the backboard, may have been contact there. No whistle though, and Tampa has the basketball. Entry pass nearly stolen. It's a tie-up. The arrow favors Eckerd.
Nice job by Larinaga. She got a hand on it, immediately went to the ground. With one of those 50-50s, that's a huge tie-up with 4:43 left. You know, last possession, the Trojans get what they want. Denon just a little bit hurried. And the Spartans got beat, but they were able to force her underneath the basket. So just a lack of a presence of knowing where Denon was. Good defensive play, and back and forth we go. Trojans trying to get a stop and then score. Right now they're getting the stop, but haven't been able to capitalize on the offensive side.
4:43 to go, a media timeout. We step aside with the Tritons down 5 on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
So long today.
It's so beautiful.
So how are your classes going?
Good. Are you ready for the test?
Aiming for C++, but I think I'll get it.
I can't believe close though.
Yeah.
Picking 7.
7 is wow.
Tritons basketball down 59-54, 4:43 remaining in our women's contest tonight, with second place in the Sunshine State Conference on the line. Out of the timeout, Eckerd has Larinaga, Lull, Johnson, Antela, and Keeney on the floor. So Denon, a very brief stay out there on the court, gives way to Keeney. Keeney gets it inside, 2 bodies between her and the rim. Back out, Antela freezes Cody with a pass, draws contact, but the shot won't foul. Bounced twice on the rim and wouldn't go. And 2 important free throws coming for Army Antela.
A nice little wrinkle there. They went back to the side that they went to open up that shuffle cut off Antela. The defense went with Keeney, open up. Antela able to draw the foul on the drive after the kickback. So nice job, nice wrinkle, and that's what you want to see from your team in a timeout situation. Draw up a play, drop a wrinkle, and execute it.
First free throw good, second is short. Eckerd trails by 4, under 4.5 minutes to go. Eckerd staged a dramatic comeback last season in the meeting here.
Little zone action here for the Tritons, so we'll see what the Spartans do to adjust it. They notice it. Can they get something into tighter?
Eshu gives it up. 7 to shoot. Sullivan gives it up. Nelson toward the baseline. Behind the back pass, nearly stolen by Chelsea Johnson. 1 second remains on the shot clock as she tipped the pass out of bounds. Nodge checking back in with 4 fouls and replaces Cody, who herself is saddled with 4.
You see that, it said about 4 minutes there, and that's a lot of time left. Triton's got to play discipline here.
Nelson gets it to Nodge, who barely grazes the rim with her shot. And Law brings it into the forecourt for Eckerd.
And a good backdoor cut to be able to get that pass in and get a shot off. But nice job by the Tritons. Now they got to execute.
Antela pops the jumper wide to the left. Chelsea Johnson had Keeney on the left wing, but kept the whole motion of the offense moving to the right. Open look for Antela, couldn't stick it home.
And it's a good look. I think Coach Hunsley would take that look. And I think Coach Jesse would say the same thing. We'll get beat by the 15-footer from Antela.
Tighter on the drive, an off-balance shot, no. Law the rebound for the Tritons. Pass ahead, Chelsea Johnson hangs, cannot get the shot to fall, but will head to the free throw line for 2.
Nice shot by attacking the basket. You almost think if Nelson would just kept her ground there, maybe she could have drawn a charge, but she went for the shot fake. They call body there, so big time. And what's key about this is the clock stops, team has a chance to rest. Chelsea showing what she can do. I mean, really tremendous play in the transition.
First free throw good, makes it a 1-possession game. As Zoe Richards back in, she has 4 fouls. Tritons will try and get back to those offensive sets that were working for her against Nodge. Neither one has a foul left to give.
And it's going to be interesting. Do they go back to a zone defense and try to corral the rebound? And it looks like that's what they're doing. Force a perimeter shot. They've got to rebound. Someone's got to account for Nodge. And you got to have 5 going and attack that glass and try to keep cutters out of the lane.
59-56, Tampa leads. Spartans have led the whole second half. A crowd in the corner. Nelson, her pass to Sullivan is wide. Sullivan still able to compose herself and score with the right hand late in the shot clock, extending the lead to 5.
A scramble situation, and Sullivan was able to still get that one-on-one matchup because the defense had rotated all the way to the left side of the floor.
Larinaga down under the basket, out. Chelsea Johnson, left corner 3, yes!
That's a senior making a senior shot right there, and now it's a 2-point game. And for the Tritons, I still think you stay in the zone. You're getting some good looks, but you just got to finish the play. That time they played defense for 29 seconds.
61-59, tighter for 3, barely got the rim, missed it long. The Tritons can tie or lead on this possession. Chelsea Johnson with 15 points, gives it back up low. Under 2 minutes to play. Chelsea gets it around. Keeney, right wing, looks back door. Richard steps back 3!
And just a beautiful execution. The chin series, that time it was Zoe all the way. Chelsea kind of went half speed, and they look for the pick and pop, and that's what happens when you have a 3-point shooter in the post play, and you had a feeling Zoe was going to be able to get a look.
Timeout Tampa as Eckerd leads for the first time this half with a minute 41 to play. 62-61. We step aside on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Ruthless efficiency from behind the 3-point arc for the Eckerd College Tritons. Zoe Richards' first make from distance in the game gives Eckerd a 62-61 lead. Keeney made 2, Walls made 2, Chelsea Johnson just made her second. Richards and Johnson each with 15.
Just some little adjustments here. I mean, Hunsinger calls up the zone. Tritons are executing it. They force some perimeter shots. Spartans were able to get a couple possessions. They knocked a couple threes down in the third quarter when they went to zone the first time. Now, once again, here's where the chess match comes. 2 very good coaches. And the Spartans come out, and it's going to be a man defense here. So now that they got the lead, Coach Hunsinger's going to go to his bread and butter.
Najee against Richards. Both have 4 fouls. Double team comes. It comes back out. Eshu, 8 to shoot. Tighter, gives it up. Eshu, 4 to shoot. Driving on wall. Steps inside and is able to score as the shot clock goes off, putting Tampa back in front. 30-second timeout called by Tampa. A minute 14 to go. So this is a timeout to set up the defense by Tampa. The Spartans still have 2 left. Eckerd has 3 timeouts. Remember, in the women's game, in the final minute, you can advance the ball with a timeout, as though both teams will have the opportunity to utilize that rule potentially multiple times coming down the stretch here.
That gives, I mean, the Spartans were in a scramble situation. That wasn't the shot that, you know, they were trying to get the ball inside to Naj, and a good job. And then you saw just the example having 4 fouls. Zoe couldn't come all the way for help, and just good job by Eshu using contact to be able to finish on the left side. Now with the Tritons coming out, expect them to run the Princeton offense. They've had some success off some high shuffle screen, and see if they can freeze Zoe up or get a backdoor cut going to the basket.
63-62, Tampa leads Eckerd. Law handling the basketball, gives it up. Richards from the left elbow, dribbles in, double team comes, out. Johnson, she starts to drive, kicks out. Zoe, left corner 3, off the mark, rebounded by Naj. Under a minute, Denon tips the pass. Naj able to secure it. A frenzy here into the final minute. Yeah, Tritons are going to back up, play it straight up, and try and get it back down by 1.
And I like that. Sometimes in a scramble situation, you make a foul, but they are still 2 away from the bonus. But of course in the bonus it's an automatic 2 free throws. So play defense, got plenty of time.
Tighter, 4 to shoot. Lost it over the baseline, but Chelsea Johnson tipped it out. 28.7 seconds to go. 3 showing on the shot clock.
Look for a cross screen. Tighter and Naj. She went opposite.
Nelson throwing it in. Law guards the inbounder. To Naj. Hangs in the air and hits the baseline jumper. Shot clock is off. Timeout Eckerd to advance the basketball. Down by 3.
And then you can see this is they look like they're going to set a cross screen. Naj went out to the perimeter, and then rolled back. And I don't think that's their first primary look, but a nice job by Nelson having that clock in her mind and passing that with about 4 seconds on with the 5 count. And you gotta give credit to Naj. She caught and shot right in rhythm, and Zoe was there, just not enough to alter the shot. Some big plays made by both teams here, and some players that necessarily you wouldn't expect. I would have thought that ball would have gone to Tighter, but Naj has been steady all game. Double-double. Tritons now 26.4, but not in the penalty. I expect them to try to get something quick, hopefully score going to the basket, foul, and try to see if they can get it. And we'll see if Coach Jesse calls timeout and tries to advance the ball. But I expect to see the Tritons get something quick here.
Tighter, Naj, Eshu, and Sullivan have combined for 62 of the 65 Tampa points, and an easy pass to the bucket from midcourt. Richards lays it in on the out-of-bounds assist by Larinaga, and right away Tampa calls timeout to move the ball into the front court.
And that's got to be a switch. You get miscommunication there on the back screen. Great execution. Almost like it wasn't enough air, but just so wide open. And that's just an excellent call out of the timeout. And of course, Coach Jesse with a quick timeout. But now, if you're the Tritons, you've got to foul immediately. Go for the ball. If you're Coach Jesse, you tell them, listen, they've got to foul, protect the basketball. Don't let them tie you up. But they do have possession arrow. So there's some just little interesting chess match here going on, and Coach Hunsinger subbing. Zoe with 4. You don't want her to be forced to be in a position to foul, especially in the girls' game. A bonus gives you 2 free throws, so you got to know who you can foul, and that's from scouting before the game goes.
Tighter takes it out of bounds.
They're not going to guard the inbounder, so they're going to give her an opportunity. Nice cross screen.
Eshu makes the catch. She is trapped there near the scorer's table, and Tampa, foul called. I thought Tampa had to use her last time out there. But Larinaga has called for the foul, and so one more foul left to give.
Kind of an odd situation.
Denon fouls Ingram. Catch made in the backcourt there. I don't think Denon realized the ball had been handed in already for the inbound, so she was a step slow reacting to the pass.
Now this is interesting because Ingram has not played a whole lot of minutes, but she's obviously in there for her free throw shooting ability. She's shooting almost 80% on the season, but 2 really big ones here.
First one's pure.
Still makes it a 1-possession game. Same thing if you're the Tritons. You can advance it on a timeout.
Second is good as well. Timeout Eckerd.
So I don't think they'll get something as easy, but still, 3-point game, plenty of time. I would say the same thing. Try to get a quick shot, score it, and then foul, try to draw the game out. Obviously, if you get a wide open 3, you've got multiple shooters that can make it, but I don't think it's time necessarily to start counting on a 3-point shot if you can get a look attacking the basket.
We'll see what Coach Hunsinger draws up here. A 1/10 of a second, less than 20 to play, 19.9. Eckerd briefly took the lead, 62-61 on a Zoe Richards 3, but a pair of tough buckets by Eshu and by Sullivan. And Tampa leads 67-6, or actually by Eshu and Naj, those last 2 field goals for Tampa, 67-64.
And those 2 shots came late in the shot clock.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other aspect you want to really kind of give credit to. I mean, that was less than 3 seconds. 3 seconds or less on both of those. And the Spartans have actually been pretty good. If we had to, the breakdown even stats further, I'd like to see how many points they've scored with under 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Because Sullivan had a couple here in the second half, just getting an opportunity, and that's a huge, just huge baskets, huge execution.
Larry Nagin once again throws it toward the basket. Caught by Wall. Chelsea Johnson way off the mark. Denon saves it, but there's only 13 seconds left now. And Zoe has to give her final foul to send Nodge to the free throw line.
And Coach Hunsinger is going to say, listen, we got a senior who's able to knock down that shot, one of our best shooters, and she got a great look, but just a little rush, wasn't quite set. And a tough miss there by Chelsea, especially since he couldn't give the team an opportunity to rebound.
10.2 seconds remaining, and either one of these free throws would make it a two-possession game.
29 to shoot 2.
First free throw's good. It's a 4-point game.
Now, going to try to score quick. You've got one timeout left, so if you call it, you can't stop it, but you can advance it. But if a makes does stop the clock, so they are.
Makes. And final timeout called by Coach Hunsinger. So he'll use his final advancement here, down by 5. Needs a quick bucket and then needs some luck.
You gotta score. You're two possession. It doesn't matter how you get them, but you gotta hope that they miss. And you give Spartans the credit too. 18 and 22 from the free throw line. They've knocked down free throws when it mattered all game.
What composure by Tampa after giving up the lead here on the road to fall behind 62-61. They score those two tough buckets late in the shot clock and have been cold-blooded at the free throw line all night.
And I think that if you came into this game and you told both coaches that this game was going to be up in the 60s, maybe in the 70s, they probably would have said no and would have said, I don't know if we have a chance. But they're so just a balanced team. This is such a good matchup. Really, this game has always been a barn burner. And you can see why both teams are in the top part of the conference. But a nice job by the Tritons. The Spartans to execute when they needed.
Chelsea Johnson draws a foul on a three-point attempt. The pass came in at her feet. So she's pulled it off the floor and jumped into Nodge, throwing it at the rim.
Well, I tell you, that's best case scenario. Because now you have a chance to sub. You can kind of get some coach in there as a dead ball and let them shoot 3 free throws.
Johnson already standing at the free throw line while the 30 seconds for substitutions here occurs.
Checking in for Eckerd.
I believe this is 3 free throws. Yes, they do confer and confirm that.
So Coach Jesse, a little coach in there said, let's make sure there's no replay like we have in other levels. But obviously being able to confer, and good piece of officiating there by our Sunshine crew to make sure that the right call was there.
The first free throw is missed. So now Chelsea Johnson has to make the last 2 just to get it to 1 possession.
And it's almost what you would have done if just think about it. Make the first 2. Do you even attempt to maybe miss and have a kick out, or somehow get possession again to kind of get a double possession, especially that Nodge fouled out. But now, still 2 possession game, so I think you got a foul.
Second free throw rolls in. Tampa uses their last timeout and will advance it into the front court.
So I think you got to definitely make that and then foul, but still maybe get a steal. And it's a 1 possession game, but it would have been an interesting decision if we hadn't made that first free throw. Coach Hunsinger, what would he have decided there? Because
I'm a little surprised, Ryan, by the timeout there by Tampa. I think I may have taken advantage of the ability to run baseline and at least taken a shot at inbounding down there and then kept the timeout. Because now Eckerd, I think you sell out looking for the 5-second violation here.
And that's a great point, and that running the baseline can be, you wanted to say maybe because if he advances and if they do get a steal, they're still having to go the full court. But I agree with you. I think that if you have the discipline, you've coached it, running baseline can open up more passing angles, and now you're at a stationary throw-in.
Foul foul before the inbounds is called, as Coach Hansinger uses Haley Howard and Wall together to try and chase.
And not a bad situation there. I mean, you teachers play physical, get on that hip, and if you can somehow call a foul, which is not an intentional, that's a good scenario there. But Ashu, she's been solid all night too. 14 points, and some crucial baskets to take that lead again.
First free throw good. Tampa ices it with 6.8. It is a two-possession game. Tampa 70-66. And it looks like they'll get out of here with an impressive road win against the Tritons. SU one more coming. She makes it. Has 16 now on the night. Quick pass into Wall. Gets right up to the free throw line. Johnson pops up, can't get it away, and winds up with an air ball. And Tampa wins 71-66 in the MacArthur Center, knocking off the Tritons and securing sole possession of second place in the standings.
You got to say, two teams fighting it out. Kind of say you look at Tampa and kind of a little extra celebration there and saying to yourself it's January, but obviously a big road win for them, especially give them some cushion there in the second. They're obviously pretty excited for a tough win, but Tritons got some things that they can look good at, and be happy about. Once again, a lot of basketball left, but it's going to make a important game on Saturday against Florida Tech.
Eckerd slips to 11-6, 6-4 in conference. Tampa improves to 13-5, 7-3 in conference. Tampa was led 19 points by the freshman Malia Sullivan, with 19 points. Dory Nodge finished with 17. SU had 16 and Titer 14. For the Tritons, Chelsea Johnson and Zoe Richards each had 17. Octavia Law finished with 8. Yarden Denon also had 8. And the Tritons, despite shooting better than 50% from 3, fall 71-66 on this Wednesday night against the Spartans.
Well, if you're looking at the Tritons, just a couple cold stretches into the first half. That 12-2 run really, you can see, is the difference of the game. But they got down 7 points twice in this second half, fought back, took a lead, and just the Spartans made plays when they had to. And, there's all a learning experience, so you go back and say, what can we do to get better for Florida Tech on Saturday? Still a lot of basketball left, but now you got to make up a game, and you got Tampa on the road in a few weeks, so you got to try to go back and steal one from across the bay.
Tampa takes down Eckerd 71-66. For Ryan Halstead, I'm Nate March. Men's game coming up in less than 30 minutes here on the Sunshine.